Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed. Are we living and loving for the casual? This, my darling, it's a set. It's a pant and shirt set. And I think I have had this for maybe 5-6 years. 5-6 years. And then this, my darlings, is just a necklace that I think Fumi Nation gave to me when I was in New York. And then the makeup is just really simple. You know what I've come to realize, and I am living and loving. As I get older, I realize I really just need less makeup. I don't need that much makeup, so I don't do that much with the eyes. I do have highlighter on, and I feel that that really warms up my complexion, and you can really see the beauty of my complexion. So I live and love that. Even the lashes, I don't do heavy lashes anymore, and I don't wear lashes that much in real life. I just wear it for dramatic effect when I am filming. And I love my hair as is. I'll let it grow bigger and bigger, and that's about it. Yeah. So my darlings, why are we here? Okay, let me give you the quick synopsis, because like I said, a lot of you send me requests, and I do episodes when I see the same request. And it is Kelvin Hunter yet again. Yes, Kelvin Hunter is the ex-husband of Wendy Williams. As you very well know, Wendy Williams just recently responded to all of the Diddy allegations, talking about it's about time, because she had been talking about Diddy for years. As we know, she is suffering from dementia, but people with dementia do have moments of clarity, and so she was able to comment. Under the circumstances, I almost wish that she didn't, because it kind of gave Kelvin the ammunition to say, aha, she is of sound mind and I'm going to drag her back to court. Now you would say it only has to be money. Well, guess what? You guessed right. So what is the doodah? The doodah is Kelvin wants their divorce to be dissolved, because he feels that when they did have their divorce proceedings in 2019, he was given the impression that Wendy only had 7 million. Come to find out through Wendy's best friend, she's not a friend, and we're going to get to that in a minute, that Wendy in actual fact had 55 million in her account, in her holdings. And so with all of that being revealed, Kevin said to himself, I need money. I always need money. I never cared for this woman, Wendy, even though I married her and had a son. I want my money. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't care whether she's ill, whether she's suffering from this, that, and the third. I don't care if she's the mother of my son. Well, he also has another baby mama, but we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to drag her back to court, because 48 million is a chunk of change. And do you know what? I am not mad at him on that, because 48 million is a chunk of change, if indeed it is true. Kelvin Hunter was Wendy's manager and show producer. He was the one that came up with the idea of the shoe cam, and he was responsible for a big and huge part of her career. We must not forget that Kelvin also had an affair with another woman while married to Wendy, and it came to that point where Wendy just had to let go. Kelvin, did you not have your accounts when you were married to Wendy? I know you had your own credit cards and everything. It was not funneled only by Wendy's bank accounts. I am positive that you had your own accounts. It means that you have run through all of that money. And you see, here's the thing, guys. You think, oh, they got all this money, how can they run through it? More money, more expenses, bigger expenses. You go out for dinner every single night. You pay for dinner for 20 people every single night. You get a ridiculous townhouse of which you don't need. You get another one in the Hamptons because you want to be around the other socialites. You have another one on the West Coast because I don't want to stay in a hotel because this, that, and the third. The money will run quick. And of course, you saw how Wendy's son said that he could spend anything that he wanted, and he was spending how much on takeout? Do you remember? So the money can run fast. You're buying diamonds, you're buying bigger diamonds, you're buying the biggest diamonds. Talk show hosting is an extremely lucrative career. It's not only the show itself, it's all of the brands that you also support alongside it and all of the other things that come along with it. So could Wendy have 55 million? I tell you this, Wendy could have had 100 million, 150 million, 200 million. You have Oprah there, who was also a talk show host for how many years? You know how much money she got. So this is not brand spanking new. In a nutshell, Kelvin is desperate for money. He's always been desperate for money, crying about health insurance, crying about he can't pay his bills, this, that, and the third. Wendy's lawyer told Kelvin, listen, you were there for the court hearing for the divorce. You were happy with everything that was stated. But because of your greedy heart, you just wanted the money. Boom, baya. And you got what you got when you got it. Wendy is not the woman that she was. And when I say that, I'm not referring to her health. I'm talking about her career. That show that she had is not here today. We don't know what Wendy will be tomorrow. Out of personal experience, for me, I would always say, never write anybody off, because you never know how it's all going to play out. We're just going to sit down here and watch it all play out. That's the synopsis of it all. And so there are legalities where Kelvin says that Wendy's lawyer is not registered to practice law in this state, in this, that, and the third. It's a hot, smoking mess. But I'm here to read a little bit of it for you. So it goes on to say, Wendy Williams' ex-husband, Kelvin Hunter, has demanded their divorce be overturned and claimed she hid $48 million from him in their settlement. According to court documents exclusively obtained by the U.S. Sun, Kelvin Hunter is petitioning the court to vacate and set aside their final divorce judgment based on fraud, misrepresentation, and misconduct. In a Wells Fargo portfolio report from May 2019, when the couple divorced, submitting into the case by her guardian, Wendy appeared to have had $7 million plus in what is listed as her total holdings. However, as the U.S. Sun previously reported, the former daytime TV's host's best friend, Regina submitted an affidavit into the divorce proceedings, alleging that Wendy had a total of $55 million in her accounts as of 2022. I'm going to stop right there. Ladies, sisters, aunties, nieces, daughters, don't ever let anybody know what kind of coin you got. I have learned from experience. Don't ever let anybody know what kind of coin you got. Don't let anybody know what kind of coin you got. Separate everything in 5 different accounts. I'm giving you a tip here because I have a lot of friends in finance. Divide everything into 5 and swear that you only have one. I promise you, this is free advice. Don't let anybody know what you got. Don't let anybody know what you got. Friendships are funny with money, and money is funny with friendships. It's all good, handy dandy, because these two have been friends for 30 plus years, you would have thought. But again, money can be funny. And it can be a situation where you're just too close to the fabuloso of it all, and you believe and you feel that you deserveth of that coin, of which Wendy worked so very hard for. And it's unfortunate because Wendy is going through dementia of all things, the mind. And so she needs support, she needs assistance. Above all, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of love and prayers from up above. But money can be funny. For someone who has a YouTube channel, and really and truly 70% of it really truly is Ula. Ula created it, Ula edited it, Ula brought it together. Ula edited right up onto a couple of months ago. I would never be here without him. We've talked about this many a time. Well, you know, it's a different case. But heaven forbid whatever, let him have what you're going to have. We've already talked about, let him have what he's going to have, because it is true. It was built together. You have front of the house and you have back of the house. Even in music bands, you will have the lead singer, but he's part of the band, and the guitarist, the drummers, they are just as important. But who do you see first? You see the lead singer. The lead singer usually is the one that got the voice and got the face. And so you think that it's all about him. No. It's the band in total. And a lot of lead singers do go and step out on their own. And not everybody makes it out here in these streets. 1 or 2, 3 or 4. But that's it. So Kelvin has a point. The thing is that I wouldn't give him anything because he's greedy and he's heartless. If it wasn't for that, I would have said okay. But because of the heartlessness of it all, I just feel that he deserves nothing. The mere fact that he cheated on her and had another child in the relationship should disqualify him instantly with immediate effect. He betrayed the contract. Yes, he did. Because the contract was a contract of marriage, of which we built this in the marriage. And if we build this amount of money in the marriage, you deserve half. But you betrayed the marriage, so you don't get anything. How about that? That's how I feel. I don't know how the best friend is coming out here talking about sworn affidavit. I saw 55 because you know what? I went to go and stay with her during the summer. In her response filing, Wendy's guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, claimed that Kelvin was aware of the various accounts Wendy held, and she addressed the affidavit filed by the host's best friend, claiming she had another 48 million in the bank. I cannot address what Regina thinks she saw or heard, what a third person thinks she heard, or what the third person may or may not have reported to Regina, Sabrina wrote in her filing on Wendy's behalf. In his papers, Kelvin affirmatively states that Wendy showed Regina her financial statements because he wants to believe it, because he wants it opened up. He wants her dragged back into court, and he wants to say, BITCH, you better come correct and give me my coin, because I don't care about this. And you know, it's such a lie, because he's out there, my legacy. What legacy, Kelvin? What legacy do you have of which you have not destroyed? You come out here and you're such a poor representation of what a man should stand for. You're a poor representation. As a husband, you really did her a great disservice, because it's not wrong to have a divorce. If you're not getting along, I understand that. But do it with class. Do it with dignity. Do it with respect. Do it because there was a time when I loved this woman. There was a time when we really had a good time and things were great. They're not that now. I fell in love with somebody else. I fell out of love with her. I have a son. I'm still young out here in these streets. And you know what? Hey, to hell with it. I understand. But it's the groveling. It's the scraping every bleeding coin. That is what gives you all of the animosity thrown your way. Let me continue reading. Where was I? Kelvin was not there and has no personal knowledge of whether or not the interaction occurred. Wendy's guardian argues that at the time of the divorce, Kelvin stated he was fully satisfied and understood the process and consulted with professionals to be fully aware of the assets and his rights with regard to such assets, and that as such he has absolutely no case to reopen the divorce proceedings. In an affidavit submitted to New Jersey court over the summer and exclusively obtained by the U.S. Sun, Wendy's best friend of 44 years, Regina, claimed to have seen the star's Wells Fargo's bank account statements. In the affidavit, the star's friend said that in July of 2022, she stayed with the former TV host in New York City for an extended period of time. She said it was during that long visit that Wendy said she wanted to explore other financial avenues of her estate and specifically a possible change with her current financial institution. She also shared with me documents from Wells Fargo showing a cumulative balance of nearly 55 million, Regina wrote. Regina also claimed that in December of that year, Wendy invited her to meet with Bank of America. This is what we've already talked about. Regina, why? Why? Do you know that I don't really blame Kelvin here, because Kelvin has shown us his spots. What I'm sad about is Regina. Regina caused this. Regina caused this because she should have just kept her mouth quiet. She should have just kept quiet. In other words, shut up. In other words, just shut up. Because you're not doing Wendy any favors. It is so sad, and we have to take this into consideration going forward for all of my Fumi Nation sisters that are really doing things out there. I'm so inspired by you. You're making your coin, you're building your brands, you're building your dynasty, and I'm taking tips from all of you. Take a couple from me. Don't let anybody know about your coin. Best friend or not, don't do it, because it's situations like this. Because you can walk out the door, heaven forbid, and something can happen. Who's going to fight for you? And who can fight for you that you can trust? You see this money thing? Sort it out. Especially when we're in our 50s. Have your life insurance, have your property insurance, have your health insurance, have insurances for your children, for your spouse. Have it in place and have it locked, and nobody from the outside can come in. And if at any time, Wendy, if indeed that you had this coin, and I understand, you see what happens is that anything you hide will come to the surface. Money, yes, with a hound dog like Kelvin that can sniff out anything. Oh yes, Kelvin is like those dogs that you have at the airport that want to sniff out candy. He is that. He will sniff it out any which way he can, and he is on beast mode. He don't care. I think that is what is sad, that he's never publicly talked about Wendy's welfare. To say, I am so sorry, Wendy, this is happening to you. I knew you when you were so happy and smiling. I want to apologize if I added tears to your bucket, because I know I did. Stuff like that. Then I can understand. But you're just blatantly up out of the money. And I tell you this, at the end of the day, every case is different and individual. I'll be a judge right there. I'll be looking at you like so. And I will do the bare minimum. I'll do the bare minimum. I will do the bare minimum for somebody like Kelvin. Why? To waste the money and then come back in another 7 months talking about, let me go back. I think I just heard that she actually had 155 million. No. That is why there are some women that just never got married. Again, this is sister to sister here. Know the man that you are marrying. Know the man that you are marrying. You got to heal yourself. You got to take care of yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. Take care of yourself, of your mental health. And to sit down under the pretext that everything is hunky-dory, it doesn't work. And we are front and center to see exactly who he is. That's all I gotta say, my darlings. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I will see you what? I'll see you sooner than later. All of my love. Oh, God.